1,000 years ago. And today, it's still around. Legalizing it would make it safer for those involved, improve the economy, and even benefit politics. Now, on to my first point of safety. If prostitution was legalized, the government could make mandatory health checks for those that work in the profession. This would solidify that the workers are not carrying any STDs or any other diseases, thereby decreasing the spread of the diseases. Also, this would help the Johns, who are the men that buy the prostitutes. They would also be safer because of the lack of disease. But disease is not the biggest issue with safety. Physical safety would also greatly improve. With prostitution being illegal, many times cops and detectives won't investigate the sexual assault, rape, or even murder of a prostitute. Dr. Melissa Dibmore, who was a primary investigator for reports by the Sex Workers Project, she says that women were told, "What did you expect?" by cops by police officers who refused to investigate acts of violence perpetrated against women who they knew were engaged in prostitution. That's ridiculous. They're saying they're denying you basic human rights because you are trying to make money your own way. And even in the most extreme cases, there was a man named Gary Ridgway that he said he killed prostitutes because he knew he wouldn't be held accountable. Later in life, he confessed to killing 48 women. That's insane. And police cannot simultaneously seek to protect prostitutes and arrest them because it's illegal. If legalized, the workers can feel safe to report misconduct or violence against them to the police or other public safety officials and not be arrested for prostitution. They can be treated like human beings with rights, like everyone should be. And according to the FBI, between 2001 and 2010, there were over 774,000 arrests on just prostitution alone. That is a gigantic number, and that even costs a lot of money. Which brings me to my next point, improving the economy. Prostitution is not just merely an exchange for sexual favors. It's also a financial exchange. The client gives money to the solicitor for a service, and the solicitor performs the service. This is similar to other business practices, and having prostitution legalized would give prostitutes employment rights and open the door to unionization. Many times, the workers are in a poverty-ridden area and need the money. They are usually at the mercy of their pimp, who often takes a large sum of the payment for themselves. If legalized, laws would protect their rights and their much-needed income. Unionization would also be the best enforcer for the industry, says Wendy Gittleson, who is a social justice examiner. She says that unions would help assure that illegal and under-the-radar prostitutes would stay out of the business. Like any other business, this would help lower crimes and illegal proceedings to keep the law-abiding businesses profiting. And legalizing prostitution would also help create more jobs, or more legal jobs. And there's always people that love to say they created new jobs. These are politicians. Which brings me to my third point, how it would benefit politics. The increase in jobs would be pretty incredible. The created jobs would produce an income tax, which the government can then use for their funding. They could also set up a sales tax on prostitution, which would be steeper than the normal sales tax and increase more revenue. It would also help raise the unemployment rate, which lately hasn't really been in that good of shape, so they can say that they benefited from that too. Legalizing prostitution would also remove some awfully worded and confusing laws. Some of these laws state that it is legal to sell sex, but illegal to buy sex. And another example, which was posed by Charles Cook of the National Review magazine, that paying someone for sex is legal as long as you film it and intend to distribute it, which then becomes highly profitable and called pornography. So, although red tape will be present in anything with politics, getting rid of some could be beneficial. Now, before I close, I want to make sure that my points are clear. I'm not saying that if prostitution was legal to go out and buy prostitutes. It's a choice that you make, and it's a choice that they make to work. What I am saying is that if prostitution was legalized, the safety of the workers and the customers would improve, it would help improve the economy, and it would benefit politics. And I'd like to leave you with a quote from Carol Lay, who is a founder of the Bay Area Sex Workers Advocacy Network and is also a former prostitute. She says, "Decriminalization is not at all a solution to every injustice that exists in the sex workers industry. It is just the starting point."